What if Cristiano Ronaldo was banned from football at the age of 18? It sounds almost impossible to imagine, right? A young talent with so much promise, suddenly stripped of his chance to play the sport that he was born to dominate. But let's take a step back and explore this intriguing what-if scenario. What would the world of football look like today if one of the greatest players in history never even got the chance to start his professional career? Would football have been a different game? And what about Ronaldo himself? Would he have become the global icon we know today, or would he have found a different path? Let's dive in and explore the consequences of Cristiano Ronaldo being banned from football at 18. First, let's think about the immediate impact of Ronaldo's ban. At just 18, Ronaldo had already shown flashes of brilliance during his time at Sporting CP, but his breakout moment came in 2003 when he signed with Manchester United. It was at Old Trafford where he really started to turn heads with his insane skills, speed, and technique. But what if, before he even got that chance, he was banned from playing? The football world would have lost one of its brightest young stars before he could even take the first steps toward greatness. United would have never signed him, and his iconic moments, like that famous debut against Bolton where he turned the game around, wouldn't have happened. It's hard to imagine the world of football without the spectacle of Ronaldo making defenders look silly, scoring unforgettable goals, and becoming a cultural phenomenon. Without Ronaldo, it's possible that the trajectory of modern football could have shifted. Think about the clubs he's played for: Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and back to United. All of these clubs have been shaped by his presence, and his move to Real Madrid in 2009 transformed the entire club, leading them to multiple Champions League titles and solidifying their position as one of the most successful clubs in football history. If Ronaldo had been banned from football, Real Madrid would have likely sought another star player to fill that void. Maybe they would have invested even more in other legends like Kaká or Gareth Bale, or perhaps they would have turned their attention to the emerging talents in Europe. But none of this would have been quite the same without Ronaldo's undeniable charisma, professionalism, and knack for scoring when it mattered most. And what about the competition? If Ronaldo had never played, would Lionel Messi have been able to reach the same heights of greatness? The rivalry between Ronaldo and Messi is one of the most talked about in football history, and it has defined the last 2 decades of the sport. If Ronaldo had been banned, Messi's legacy might have been viewed differently. Messi may have been considered the undisputed greatest of his generation, with fewer comparisons to Ronaldo's achievements. On the flip side, we could have seen other players step up to fill the void that Ronaldo left behind. Maybe players like Neymar, Kylian Mbappé, or even another rising star would have risen to global prominence in a way that Ronaldo's dominance might have prevented. Football, after all, thrives on rivalries, and without Ronaldo to push the limits of what's possible, maybe Messi wouldn't have had the same level of motivation to reach the heights he did. Now, let's think about Ronaldo himself. If he were banned from football at such a young age, what would he have done? Ronaldo's passion for the game has always been his driving force. Without football, it's hard to imagine him as the global figure he is today. Would he have pursued another career? Maybe he would have turned to something like tennis, where his incredible athleticism could have been just as beneficial, or perhaps he would have dived into business, as he has done now, with his numerous endorsement deals and brand partnerships. But would the world have ever heard of CR7 if it wasn't for his footballing achievements? He might have still made a name for himself in other sports or endeavors, but it's doubtful he would have had the same worldwide impact. His philanthropic efforts, his multi-million-dollar sponsorship deals, and his massive social media following might have never existed, or they would have come through a different platform. The ripple effect of Ronaldo's ban would have also been felt throughout the sport. The way we view modern footballers, how they brand themselves, how they use their platform to influence culture and society, might have been entirely different. Ronaldo revolutionized the way athletes present themselves, combining unparalleled work ethic with a global brand that transcends the sport. His fitness regimen, his mental toughness, and his public persona all play into his legacy. But what if that global brand had never been created? It's hard to say for sure, but it's possible that athletes would have continued to focus more on playing the game and less on creating a personal brand. Ronaldo's influence has reached far beyond the pitch, and the absence of his career could have led to a different relationship between athletes and their audience. Let's also consider the impact on Portugal's national team. Ronaldo has been the star player for his country, leading them to victories in the UEFA Euro 2016 and the UEFA Nations League in 2019. Without him, Portugal would likely have struggled to replicate those successes. The team might have been more dependent on other stars, like Luis Figo or Rui Costa, but none of them had the same impact as Ronaldo. It's possible that Portugal wouldn't have had the same level of success in international tournaments, and they might have gone longer without winning their first major international trophy. The emotional boost Ronaldo brings to his teammates, and the belief he instills in his countrymen, would have been missing, leaving Portugal with a gaping hole in their squad. On a larger scale, think about the commercial side of football. Ronaldo's popularity has done wonders for the clubs he's been part of. His arrival at Real Madrid, for instance, wasn't just about football, it was a business move. His signing boosted the club's global fan base, increased merchandise sales, and attracted massive sponsorship deals. Without Ronaldo, clubs might not have had the same financial boom. The global marketing of football clubs could have been much less aggressive. Football would have still been popular, but not necessarily at the level it is today, where the sport transcends borders and languages. The economic impact of having a global icon like Ronaldo in the game is immeasurable, and without him, the sport might have missed out on millions of fans, sponsorships, and global TV rights deals. The bottom line is that football, as we know it today, would be very different without Cristiano Ronaldo. His incredible talent, fierce drive, and global influence have left an indelible mark on the sport. Without him, there would have been no CR7, no iconic moments like his stunning free kicks, bicycle kicks, or record-breaking goals. And while Messi might have still dominated the game, football fans would have been robbed of one of the greatest rivalries in sports history. So, what do you think? How different would the world of football have been if Ronaldo had been banned from playing at 18? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more what-if scenarios here at What If Factory. Until next time, keep wondering, keep imagining, and always ask, what if?